And I know that I've been taking life too seriously and complaining about it. Please help me for the next year. Whenever I see my fellow humans act with such indifference to the animals we share this planet with, I become so hurt and angry. I don't know what to do. It is everywhere. Destruction of habitat and ecosystems that will never recover is rampant. Tell me what to do, Jay Gurudev.
You can never correct all the imperfections of this planet. Can you? You can correct someone today, and what about tomorrow? Someone speaks wrong English and you feel irritated and you correct them today. And tomorrow, next day, in next 100 million years to come, people will keep making mistakes. Can you keep correcting all the mistakes? Huh? You cannot. Obviously you cannot. And whatever field you are expert in, and when you see that in those fields people commit a mistake, you cannot keep quiet, you get irritated. How many of you feel this way? Raise your hand. Suppose you are an expert cook and you are just standing in the kitchen witnessing. Someone is cooking and they are putting so much salt in the food. What you do? You go, oh my God, that salt is worth 4 meal salt. 4 parts of soup can have that much salt. Is putting in 1 part. What do you feel? You feel they are spoiling the soup. You get irritated. And you want to jump and tell them, hey, just put 1/4 of it. You cannot drink the soup. Right, you get the tendency to correct people. In any field you take, there is a tailor, and this is some mature person is teaching things. Or if you are a yoga teacher and someone doing wrong postures, you know they are going to hurt their back or their neck or come. What happens to you? Get irritated, my goodness, they are teaching wrong. Or someone who is not a teacher doing pranayam, incorrect. You have a tendency immediately go and correct. Do it, correct it. I am not saying be indifferent, stay in a corner. If someone is saying food, don't simply keep quiet. Correct them. It's not food, it is food. Someone said bring food. Bring food. If someone say good, don't say good, say good. Though it is G-O-O-D, good. It's like food, it should be good. But you correct them, no, that's not the way. Say good. However, you may be logical, but you need to correct. Knowing that you can never correct all the mistakes in the world brings you so much relief. Otherwise, you get upset, you get emotionally disturbed, and your disturbance causes a big loss to you. If other person gains or not, but you are the loser. That's why be in the state of acceptance, accept it. The first mistake, okay, that's how it is. And then correct it. One of the basic course points, I think it remains the whole life in every act. Basic course point, accept situation people have there. A wise man flows with it. You have to listen to Ashtavakra several times, Ashtavakra says, Nirvasano niralambo svachando mukta bandhana. Something. Shushka patravat says, like the dry leaf. When the wind blows this direction, it blows that way. Blows that direction, blows that way. Being so light in life. Knowing nothing can ever disturb you, change you. You are the light. You are the consciousness. In the relative field, mistakes keep happening. This acceptance brings you enormous stability and peace. Isn't it? Huh? Then you are not mad at people. When you are mad at people, that is when you cannot teach them, you cannot correct them. If you are mad yourself about a situation of people, it is another mistake. A mistake cannot correct another mistake. Their mistake is in the action, your mistake is in your state of being. A mistaken state of being cannot correct a mistaken state of activity. A perfect state of being alone can correct a mistake that is in the state of inactivity. Are you getting what I'm saying? Correct the mistake if you cannot flow with it. Correct the mistake, and if you cannot, just flow with it. So a calm and serene state of being alone is capable of setting things right. That is necessary. No? What else? Sometimes you correct others' mistake because it bothers you. Someone is doing a mistake and it is bothering you, then you try to correct them. They'll never get corrected. But if you are correcting someone's mistake because it is not good for them, then it works. Got it? Did you read this knowledge fact? It was in a knowledge sheet, no? Last week's? I don't think many of them have read it. Correcting someone's mistake because it will affect them comes through a state of compassion, and it works. Correcting someone's mistake because it is affecting you does not work, because it is your own comfort, your own something, you are involving that in. It involves your emotional stress. You don't want someone to speak bad because it is hurting you. Your words does not work. But you are telling them not to speak so that it will hurt them in turn. It will recreate a bad impression of them. Then you are in a position to correct it. It will help them better. It will go through them. It will get into their head. Yeah.
So just, what do you mean by flow with it? Because when you're working out there in the world and you're working in a company, if they're doing something unethical, and you just flow with it, you are taking responsibility for being unethical.
You do as much as if you can do it, do it. If you cannot, you flow with it. What? Flow with means just see. In the Mahabharata war, there was Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma was there. Bhishma could not resist, could not do anything. So what did he do? He had to be with, he flew with Duryodhana. Knowing too well, it's not going to work. But he had no power to resist. Got it? But if you have power, then you resist. See, you are working in company and the company is doing an unethical thing, but you have a responsibility to take care of your wife, your children, your home. What do you do now? Because the company is doing unethical, say they are producing antibiotics and you are a chemist by profession, you will leave the job, you go to another company. You will have to do the same job there also. Go to third company, you have to do the same job there also. What you will do? You will be jobless. How will you support your children, your wife and your home? What can you do about it? You are caught up. Are you free? Can you resist? Can you bring a change? Can you take a challenge? Good, do it then. That needs sacrifice. It needs strength, it needs courage. You say, come whatever, I'll do it. If you are a warrior, or you have that warrior tendency to correct things, like Chanakya, do it. When you feel that you cannot do that, what can you do? Flow with it. This is a practical thing, it's a practical thing. Especially if you are in India, you can experience that. Okay, everyone should go in the particular, in this lane or in that lane. But when nobody follows any lane, what can you do? If you say, no, I'm going to follow it, then you will be stuck there for hours. If you go to Calcutta and sit in a taxi and car and tell the driver you follow only the rules, you will reach your destination 2 hours later. Then you are supposed to reach. But the taxi drivers know how to move around and how to take you around. They will drive like this, they don't create any accident though. This is more surprising. And I was told, if you put all the accident together that is happening all over India put together, it is the same as that happens in New York City. I was really shocked by the statistics. New York City alone has so much accident, so much crime, so you put together in the whole. But you will have to call God several times driving in a taxi in Calcutta. There is a joke, it said, the person who invented the cars in India, ambassador car in India, he died, and when he died, he was given a first class seat in the heaven. And someone else asked him sitting next to him, "Why, how did you get to sit here, be in the heaven?" Because he thought, oh, maybe because I built so many temples and places of worship. Birla was explaining that. But then the accountant there came, no, it is not because of the, it's because of the ambassador cars. Because every time a passenger sits in it, he just thinks of God. And you got all that merit. So you have reminded God by creating such a car. Actually, it is a nice car. It's quite spacious. So when you can resist it. Otherwise, you have no other option. Flow with it. You know what happens is you can neither resist it, nor do you have so much courage to resist it, nor can you flow with it. This is where you are in a dilemma. You are neither there nor here. So you are in the middle suffering in your life. So the wise man's advice is either resist or go this side or go that side. Yeah? That doesn't mean that I am encouraging you become more corrupt people. Not at all. You cannot, because your consciousness always spreads you. But at least accept this is how things are.
Guruji, could Bhishma Pitama have fought on the side of Pandavas and...
No, he didn't have that guts. He couldn't do it.
Why did they have to, I still don't understand that battle, why did they have to keep fighting? Why not be like Jesus and say, turn the other cheek? Because everybody got killed.
You know, Jesus also said what? I have come here to put son against the father and daughter against the mother.
Yes,
I have not come here to make peace, I have come here to what? Do what? I have come here with the sword. I have not come here with the to make peace.
but he didn't fight, he turned the other cheek. Whereas everybody got killed in that battle except 5 people.
Yeah, he never believed in fighting in the story.
Jesus also, he got so angry, threw all those people out of the temple.
Yeah, but he never killed another.
All the money changers.
All the money changers, he kicked them all out. Jesus comes from a very different background and there was no way that he could fight at that time. You cannot compare Jesus with Krishna. Because they are completely from different situations, different setups, different backgrounds. Now can you compare him with Buddha? All those who came to Jesus were very innocent, poor people who are in slavery. The kings didn't come and fall at Jesus' feet. Emperors didn't come, they were not impressed by him at all. Buddha was not like that because Buddha was already from a princely background. When Buddha stayed, everybody flocked, all the kings and princes, everyone, prince and princess, queens, they all took refuge in Buddha. And Krishna was different and he was also a king. So he said, it's our dharma. That's why he told Arjuna, it's you are a king and you have to do your job. One good thing, Krishna went 3 times to make peace. He went as an ambassador. 3 times, not once. To stop the war, to bring peace. He gave his 100% trial. So he resisted war to the maximum he could, in all ways, in all sense. But when he doesn't, he just went to the other side. He said, okay, if it's inevitable, let us just fight. Not that Krishna loved wars, that he asked them, okay, fight. But if he had not fought, there are so many people who would have been much more miserable. No? So we can go on analyzing for and against it. I mean, there is no end to it. You can say, oh, it shouldn't have happened, that should have better. Well, Duryodhana could have given them also a place. And there are so many options, but it's post-mortem, has no much meaning in it. Okay.